با اپلیکیشن گلگیفت از هر جای دنیا که هستین، هر کسی رو که دوست دارین بی بهانه خوشحال کنین.
Hi, it's me, Jody, and I'm here with Patience Pickner, about to launch her into her Design Star series for 2014. This is her very first installment, and here we are in February, so Patience is about to romance us, and I just can't wait. Yay! Don't you love it when your customer calls and says, I trust you, I love your work, do whatever you want? Well, for Valentine's Day, men always think of a dozen red roses, right? But I like to sell a dozen orgasmic roses, and let me show you how I do it. First, I start with a great container. I love this container by UCI. It's called their Metallic collection, and it's just gorgeous. I love how it plays really nice with the natural willow. And you just start by inserting 5 to 7 pieces. It doesn't really matter how many, but you want to make sure there's one right at the center to form the heart. And then you just start tying the pieces into each other. So you're just wrapping the branch. Great. And I'm a real messy designer. What I do, but you can be as precise or as messy as you want on this.
And I use the Oasis wrapped, is it bark wire?
The bind wire.
Bind wire, the Oasis bind wire. But I don't snip it off when I'm done. I leave it there because sometimes you'll use it later when you're adding the other elements to the design, and you can always snip it later.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I only have really good ideas.
Those are the best kind to have. I'm a fan of good ideas.
So you can see I'm forming the heart here. And this is actually a really good design for weddings and funerals as well.
There's a lot of presents.
And I love to sell air and to sell space. And look at how big you're getting here.
Perceived value.
Right.
Negative space is your friend. People pay for air.
They do.
They pay for air. They totally do.
I call it money.
That's what I like to call it.
This is money.
It is.
So then after we've started with the heart, we simply add in some greenery. I like Plimosa. I know it's kind of an old-fashioned green, but I love the movement in it.
Me too. It's really romantic.
It is. Can't have roses without Plimosa.
Nope. So it's a traditional take because you're using traditional materials in a really non-traditional way.
Right. And it's a great way to use up some of those higher-end containers that you purchased for Christmas that are still in your store. And they're beautiful and you want to showcase them. So it's just a great part of the design. We need some longer greens to help form the heart, and you can use ruscus, which I know is a little bit more expensive, but it's so gorgeous.
And it lasts like forever and ever and ever. It's really hardy.
But really any pliable green works good. The myrtle works good, and I love the fragrance of it.
Me too. I think people forget about the fragrance sometimes. February is a good month to remember fragrance.
Right.
The more romance, the better, right?
Exactly. And remember, when we're selling flowers, we're selling a feeling. And a big part of that feeling is fragrance. So you can see where the bind wire comes in really handy here.
So those long pieces that you left now are really coming into play so that you have great mechanics.
Right.
That works great.
So we'll use ruscus on this side just to switch it up a little bit.
Well, the foliage mimics each other. It's totally different, but it's enough the same. It just adds interest.
I love to group my foliages. I feel like foliage is just kind of like flowers, where you want to group it to add the interest. You don't want to polka dot it.
Nope, not a fan.
So, I think we're about done with greenery.
That's really enhanced the shape that you had going.
And if you need to, you can always pull this middle one down to form the heart a little bit.
Just to define the shape that you're going after.
Right. The next step, of course, is the roses. And I like to mix my roses. We've got Freedom, we've got Tinto, and are you all familiar with the Hearts roses? Like they're gorgeous. They open up, they kind of like a heart in the center. And I love the deep richness of them.
And the colors are nice. They play off of each other, from the rich tones to the more orangey reds.
And another great reason to mix your roses, besides I love the mix of the reds, is the stem length. So we do need 6 or 7 pretty long roses, but we can also get by with a few of the shorter roses.
And that's always good to mix in just to make it profitability is a big deal. So you can use those really strategically.
And every good design needs a focal point. So we'll do a focal point down in here. I've also done this design with a focal point more up here, and that's a cool look too.
It's versatile, that it's a strong design that you can do a focal either area.
Right.
So you have that versatility. That's fantastic. I think any woman would rather have a dozen roses like this in their office, wherever they work. That's going to turn heads and stop traffic than just a dozen roses in a vase.
And let's face it, that's the reason why men send flowers to work, so that all
they
her
want to look
girlfriends
good.
are like, oh, your husband's the best.
Exactly. They're making those points. And that's to our advantage.
It is.
It is. Valentine's Day is a great time to take advantage of that and give them romance and give them beauty and affection and a way to express it.
Okay, now I'm not going to do the whole design.
Because you've got it completed right back here.
Right. But I do like to add some deep foliages right in the focal point.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of give some depth.
Adds interest.
Absolutely.
And the color is fantastic because you've got the variation in these petals of the smoke bush. It's great.
Then, of course, we need some accent flower. We don't call them filler, do we? Look how messy I am.
I just think it's creative.
It's creativity.
It's creativity on display. I don't think it's messy.
I really don't feel like I've put in a full day unless I'm 6 inches taller from all the leaves.
Absolutely.
And stems.
And your socks and your shoes are grass stained?
Yes.
Yeah. And the hem of your pants?
Yes. And you get undressed at night and there's sprinkles of
Absolutely.
leaves and glitter.
You have earned your keep when you are in that state.
And then just to kind of reinforce the focal point, I'm going to add in a little bit of the green trick.
I love green trick. Moss on a stick. It's so
I love it.
awesome.
Such a fun, different texture.
And it's still newish to the consumer. There's still a lot of people that don't recognize it. So that's something that you didn't capture them with the shape and the presence of it just by using different materials they're not used to seeing. That's also, they're going to go, what is that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
And they're always so shocked when you tell them it's a relation to the carnation.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. A little bit more wax flower down low. This is my favorite filler flower.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter, Maggie, she calls it squeeze it flower because when you squeeze it, it smells so good.
Oh, that's adorable. I love that.
Okay, so Jody, just like you can use the extra long bear grass for a ribbon effect, I love using the flat wire as well. Love the play of the aluminum against the metal of the base and then just the natural branches in the design. And always make sure that you twist the end of the flat wire so you don't accidentally cut someone.
Super important. Good tip.
So I just like to kind of twine this into my design just as if it was ribbon.
You're just wrapping it in there.
And sometimes when you mess with stuff too much, you think about it too much, it starts looking like you thought about it too much. So
You're right.
wire is one of those things you just do it and then just leave it alone.
You don't want it too contrived.
Right. So something like that. So let me show you the totally finished design. Set this over here.
Let me bring this over for you.
Thank you, Jody. So you can see completed how much fun it is with the play of the lily grass and the wire and the willow. Everything just works really nice together. I hope you enjoyed my design, and please join me for the other Mayesh videos. Mine are in May and August, and I've had a wonderful time today, and I would love to be your next Mayesh design star.
با اپلیکیشن گلگیفت از هر جای دنیا که هستین هر کسی رو که دوست دارین بی بهانه خوشحال کنین.